get that money back, baby. I'll get that money back, back. Can't get my time back, baby. Can't get my time back. I'll get that money back, baby. I'll get that money back, back. Can't get my time back, baby. Can't get my time back. It's been real, but I am finished. Wasting time I can't replenish, but I'll get that money back. Plant a seed so I know I'll get a snack back. Best believe that's a fact. And no way they fiction. Nothing but wins for me, that's my prediction. Running my bread while you're reminiscing.
I feel that. Playing with my money is like playing with my emotions. Shout out to Tina Yao. That's my money. You're tuned in to WURD Radio. You're in the lounge. I'm your host, Sincerely Sarita. And it's time to get into these hashtag Mad Ethnic Musings. We're joined in studio by Carmito and DJ Geek. And y'all just came from an event.
Yes, we did.
Yep.
First, how y'all doing? How you doing?
I'm doing good, you know. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing.
We doing. You know, how's it going? It's going.
It's going. I'm doing.
All right, so where y'all just come from? What was this thing about?
We just came from the UBIC Give Fresh Air event. So that was pretty cool. So,
like Get Fresh?
Give Fresh Air.
Air.
Oh, it was a donation event. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds like sustainability.
Yes. Well, no, I mean, we didn't actually like give air, but air is in reference to, you know, sneakers, Air Maxes.
Sustaining your fresh. So it was like a UBIC event. UBIC, if you know about the store, they put on a lot of different events for the sneakerhead culture, for the hip-hop culture, streetwear culture, everything. So they had an Air Max Day celebration. And a part of that celebration and part of the invitation to come out to the store was that you donate a pair of gently used sneakers.
Or new.
Or new.
Yeah.
But at bare minimum, gently used. And I think everything is going out to the Boys and Girls Club.
Boys and Girls Club of America. Yes.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah. So and they had like so many, like they were carrying boxes and boxes and boxes of sneakers. Every time you turned around, it was an employee carrying boxes of sneakers
that were being donated.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for the sneakerhead culture, it was really dope because they had this kind of bin with everybody that was donating like Nikes and anything that was exclusive. So it was just in the window, this dope display of sneakers, and if you were donating something that was a Nike, you got to put that in the display. And it was just like a pile of some we were looking like, wow.
We was looking like, yo,
who donated those?
Like maybe I wanted to catch somebody in line and buy them. Like it was some really good stuff in there.
There's a couple of us standing at the window like,
Boys and Girls Club gonna be fresh. Let me tell you that.
Shoot, there was like some what was it? Snakeskin Air Max 1s?
It was it was Air Max 90s.
90s?
Snakeskin Air Max 90s.
So how long has this whole Air Max Day, because y'all, it's hashtag Air Max Day. How long has this whole thing been?
I think Air Max Day is like 6 or 7 years old, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Air Maxes started.
Air Maxes have been
late 80s.
Yeah, 80s, but they started celebrating it 326 like 6 or 7 years ago.
Why?
And I don't know, just to celebrate it, I guess.
It's like an iconic
It has a history.
I guess.
Yeah, I mean it's evolved so much over the years. I guess they started celebrating it once they start coming out with different versions of it.
How many pairs of Air Maxes do each of you own?
Ooh.
So this is the thing about the Air Max, right? Me and Carmen were talking.
We were talking about this in line. We were.
Right. Me and Carmito were talking about this because the Air Max is technically related to the bubble in the sneaker, right? So there's a lot of different versions of Air Max because of the actual patent in the bubble in the sneaker.
Right.
But then you have these specific releases of the Air Max traditional line. It's kind of like the 23 Jordans and then like the Team Jordans.
And then like Fusion Jordans, and then which don't exist to me, but but they're a thing
Shout
out
out
there
to
that people
anybody who
buy.
owns those.
I mean, you wear it.
If you wear
what
it, that's
want.
great for you. But I mean,
Okay.
but they're out there,
Yeah,
you know,
but
somewhere.
but Air Maxes. So technically, anybody that has like bubbles in their Nikes are probably wearing some type
Some
of Air
sort
Max.
of Air Max. It might not be called an Air Max, but you basically have on an Air Max.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
and
right.
they
Well,
combine sneakers together and make different
Make
new ones.
different-
Like Nike
styles.
Fusions are okay.
Nike
Jordan
Fusions are okay.
No.
Like you combine an Air Max 97 with a Vapor Max shoe, and you
Voila.
have an Air Max a Vapor Max 97, which I had on earlier today.
Yeah.
So it's like earlier today.
Now
Stop
she
looking
has
at
on her
I have on
270s.
something different today. Right now.
you know what? I can't. So,
switched.
So
Yes.
Frosty has
Air Max.
Air Max.
Yes.
That is an Air Max of. I don't. Which one is it?
So
though?
what I would say is, if you could see Frosty's Air Max right now, and the thing about the evolution of the Air Max is that the size of the bubble
Gets
just
bigger.
got bigger and bigger, and so you got to pay attention to the main line of the Air Maxes. The bubble gets bigger every year. So then the original, like you see the 270s that came out now, it's because you can see
270s are what I have.
you can see the
not
air
lifting my foot
in the
right now.
bubble 270 degrees around the sneaker.
Oh, is that what they're called?
Right.
Yes.
Oh, look at that.
Right.
Now there
That's so
was
literal.
the first 270 is technically called the 93, but that was the first time you could see the air all the way around, 270 degrees around. Then they've got a 180 where you can see it on the sides and the bottom, so it's only 180 degrees. Right.
There's a
Math.
720,
Okay,
which
I'm
is
out.
technically a 270, but with a different design on the not bubble part.
Right. And then you
So-
got the Vapor Max, which is all air,
All bubble,
all bubble.
all on the bottom.
Your whole soul. You're just
Whole
literally
bubble.
walking on air bubble.
You know, that's
They're
what it
very
is.
comfortable.
You know what?
Amazing.
It sounds comfortable.
Like the
Sounds
most
walking
comfortable
on
pair of sneakers
sunshine.
I own. Yeah, walking on, I mean, a cloud,
Hey,
honestly.
and don't it feel good?
Yeah, they do.
That's enough. Happy Air Max Day, y'all. Anywho, we're running out of time, so we got to jump into a few of the other topics that we had for Mad Ethnic Musings,
Yes.
which were Jussie Smollett, we had Kaylani, and Tech Nine.
Tech Nine, yeah.
Jussie Smollett, I mean, we're going from Air Maxes to Jussie Smollett walking on these charges, all charges, all 16
Okay,
counts.
you had to, didn't you?
I had to.
You had to? You couldn't resist.
Moonwalking on these.
Okay.
Like, he's-
Whoa.
All right.
He's dodging. So,
Oh.
yo,
He's light on his feet.
Okay.
thoughts on the prosecutors dismissing all charges against Smollett.
My personal
Flabbergasted.
opinion, I'm not flabbergasted because it seems like why they would drop it if they didn't have sufficient evidence. Like if they had sufficient evidence to prove that
He did.
he
something.
did something, then they would have kept the charges.
I mean, but technically, you don't even move forward with the charges unless you feel like it's sufficient.
Right.
But the fact that they were at charges and now are dropping them, I think.
Is weird, but also, I mean, and not to be biased, but this is the police department, the Chicago Police Department at that. They're
Well,
notoriously
The interesting part with this is that the mayor and the police chief are infuriated. They're not happy with this. And there hasn't really been a detailed explanation for why these charges have been
Yeah.
dropped. They're saying that, you know, he agreed to do volunteer service and to let the city keep his $10,000 bill. Which I feel like to some people that sounds like a payoff. Like, all right, y'all keep my 10 stacks. Let me walk on this. And I mean, there's
normally
also
get that back though.
yeah, your bail you're supposed to get back. You show up as long as you show up to court and you know what I mean all that other stuff.
know all
But
that.
there's also like this whole situation with the state attorney with Kim Fox and apparently her, you know, she recused herself from the case, but then TMZ is now reporting that there's text messages and conversations between her and Michelle Obama's former chief of staff, Tina Shin, saying that, you know, she was going to do what she can to help. So I think a lot of people are seeing this as there's some other there's more to this story.
There's so much
that's going on.
Yeah, I don't think anyone really knows the full truth outside of.
Question is, will we ever?
Because
they also sealed the case.
They
and
sealed
won't
it, so
say
it's
why.
like at this point,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say I don't care because I do, but
Yeah.
to an extent, because we're never really gonna know.
Got you.
Yeah, no, I don't. I can't even comment for real. I'm
right?
just confused.
It's like, what information do you even go on when they seal the case? Like,
Gotcha.
we don't have information to go on at this point.
All right, and then what's happening with Kaylani?
She had her baby.
Oh, congratulations!
I know, right? That
What
was
did she
cool.
have?
She had a girl.
Oh, that's what's up.
I was
Yeah.
just cracking up on all of these social media posts of her and her pregnant belly.
Yeah, she was a funny pregnant.
She was
She was a very cute, very funny pregnant lady.
Oh, like videos she
Yeah, like when
posting.
she was
Oh, yeah.
posting, like her Instagram was hilarious. Her entire
Gotcha.
pregnant, like the entire 9-month bit. She
Gotcha.
was funny.
I'm gonna have to go back and like watch them now.
Please,
I didn't
Please
know.
go back and look at her Instagram from like the last 9 months.
Especially
right.
when you know her music and then you see her pregnant self is just funny to
Right.
watch.
And
All
then
right,
having
I'm checking
followed
that
her
out.
since before she was pregnant, she was also goofy then. So it was like, you're goofy with a little human in you. Wow.
With the little human. All right, and then last one before we get out of here is Tech Nine.
Tech Nine, battle rapper Tech Nine, not to be
And
confused with a different rapper
Oh,
Tech
true.
Nine, but our Tech Nine from Philly.
Yeah.
Battle rapper from Philly. The details of how he passed away has not been released yet, but he passed away, I believe it was yesterday.
Wow.
And it was like, I don't think anyone was really expecting it.
Yeah, I haven't
So-
really heard any details on what happened.
Yeah,
or,
nobody
or whatever
really
else the case
has
may be.
details on why, like what happened, but he passed away. He was like a legendary battle rapper.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely the battle rapping community is hurt, and
Philly in general, yeah. So
prayers up for his family and his daughter.
Yeah, I think the other Tech Nine also.
the other Tech Nine had to come out and
Like,
because they spell their nines, because
Little
our
different.
Tech Nine has just Tech and then the number 9, and then Tech Nine, the other rapper, has Tech
And
N9NE.
yeah,
So he had to come out and say like, I'm okay, guys.
Yeah.
But also,
Kinda
rest
confusing.
in peace to Tech Nine.
Yeah.
yeah. Prayers up for him. All right. Well, listen. Let us know where to follow each of you at, and shameless plugs before we get out of here.
Go ahead, Zori.
Excuse me. DJ Geek here. You can follow me mostly on the gram, DJ G33K. You can keep up with me, catch up with all of the events and things that we got going on. Shout out to the female takeover that just happened last Sunday. Follow the hashtag the female takeover. And for all of my loyal followers and like just my buddies, Geek Night coming up soon.
Ooh.
But boy, it's going down. It's going down.
Going down. Geek Night goes
Got one.
down.
All right, Car.
On Instagram, Hola Carmito with 3 O's at the end. And the link for pretty much anything else you need to know is in the bio. I make playlists for people if you want me to make you a playlist.
She makes amazing playlists.
Okay. Thank
It's
you.
all about that music. All right, that is our Mad Ethnic Musings for this week. Shout out to Carmito, special guest DJ Geek joining us for this segment. We're going to go ahead and take this break. When we come back on the other side, I'm sitting down with Soraya Nicole. She's got an upcoming event. It's Queen Teens that's going to be happening, and we're going to be discussing in honor of Women's History Month. Her concert that she is curating is going down March 31st. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after these messages.
Listen.
Toffee 10, butter pecan, cinnamon, peanut butter, like no other caramel delight, chocolate, white milk, silk, Snickers, sisters and brothers love one another when we hug, blend like a mug of hot cocoa, local licorice, superb dish, nothing less than exquisite, magically delicious, splendid, plum to red bone, list goes on, rich in flavor, young forever. We got the go-go, do we compare? No, no, no. We got the go-go, do we compare? No, no, no. Gold cocoa skin, marinated in melanin, sheen gleaming down. The sun don't shame us.
You know, everyone is technically covered in melanin. Melanin that lives in every single organ, and that includes your heart. Melanin, the pigment that gives human hair, skin, and eyes that color. Color, and we are more than just glaze. We have always been engraved, coding and clothing our DNA. And the darker the skin, the more melanin you store and save. It's a beautiful thing to know that my skin won't fry. It reflects the sun in the sky, and the sun implies a connection, the join in the bond that we share. And I am the element of the stars that soar and glare. Skin sculpted by stardust. My skin is more than a crust, protecting my inner core, outer core glow. So absorb every ray, letting the sun polish you. Because this is a celebration of not only pigmentation, melanin that drinks ultraviolet radiation. No one tells to all the generations. We got the go-go-go.
That's Melanin by the one and only. Go ahead.
Soraya Nicole.
Yeah. You're tuned into the lounge on WURD Radio 96.1 FM 900 AM. I'm your host, sincerely, Sarita. It's Artist Tuesday. FYI, if you missed our question of the day, I'm going to drop it again right now for you so that you can chime in. That question is, who is one of the most underrated artists and why? Call in and let us know your thoughts. Hotline 215-634-8065. Toll free 866-361-0900. Now I have Carmito and DJ Geek in my head telling me how I say zero. Funny, but you know what? Forget y'all. So yeah. Okay, so I do say it funny. Is that? Oh, dang. So what? I'm going to say it again. 866-361-0900. Okay? Yes. Shout out to the folks who have chimed in. Earlier we had Jennifer who mentioned Tamia. She said she's underrated. And then Darisha said India Ari and Rochelle Farrell.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Two folks who she says are underrated. But anywho, let's jump in and welcome our guests. We got a full studio tonight. And I think it is so fitting for Women's History Month that, you know, the lounge is filled with a bunch of ladies. And DJ Frosty Phoenix. So, no, but ladies, let's go ahead, go around, let everyone know who they have the pleasure of listening to right now.
Hello, everybody. My name is Soraya Nicole.
Hey, I'm Tori Story. Hi, everyone. I'm Dana Baker.
Okay, and now, Dana, I had the pleasure of seeing and just hearing your talent at the Female Takeover, which happened at Green Soul this Sunday, and honey girl put me in a trance. I was vibing, I was zoned out, I was all here for it. So thank you so much for just sharing your gift and your talent. Soraya, you know, in different shows that I didn't curate it, I didn't brought you on. I'm like, we need her. She has to perform. We need that vibe, that energy. So we're here because there's this event that you have going on, and I want to get into that. The countdown is actually on for it. It's 4 days away.
Yes, wow.
That's got to be like exciting and nerve-wracking all at once.
Yes, definitely. But you know, I'm so trusting with God when it comes to this show. Like,
amen.
Like, I fundraised $700 for it in the past 3 weeks.
Okay.
And that was in order to, you know, pay for the venue. Gift the ladies with T-shirts, women empowerment T-shirts, and make sure they have meals to eat for the evening, and just make sure they're catered to. You know, because I really want them to be treated well. They're amazing, and they deserve it as women.
Let me cater to you. I am the one on this panel who cannot talk. I mean, cannot sing. So tell us, Soraya, a little bit about the event, how it came about, why it came about. out, all of that good stuff. And just FYI, loves, if, again, you know, we got some visual folks, if you want to see us all in the studio, in the lounge right now, head over to WURD's Facebook page, right?
Yes.
At FORWURD, and you can check out our live stream that we have going on now. Shout out to all the folks who are watching, and also shout out to those who are tuning into the stream on WURDradio.com and our free Word app. You can find that in the Apple app and Google Play stores. But back to the event, Queens of the Night. How did this come about? Why did this come about?
It came about because, for one, I had started an event called She 2 years ago, and it's so crazy because I was like, wow, that was really 2 years ago. And I had called Tori, and I was like, girl, I got an idea. And I was like, I want to do something like She again. I was like, but I don't have a lot of time, but I really want to do it. Because we as women just need to have a moment to be highlighted, especially women of color as well. If you notice, a lot of the women in the show are women of color. So I wanted them to be highlighted in a whole another art form and way. So basically, Queens of the Night is a concert that celebrates women's past, present, and future with select feature performances by women, clearly. And our hope is that the women highlighted within Queens of the Night will gain further opportunities by sharing their truth via performance art. So
You better run it down. No, you know what? There's a quote from Michelle Obama that you have on the site, and it says, "There is no limit to what we as women can accomplish." And I was curious to hear from each of you ladies. Is there anything at this point, and you know, your life or your career, your singing career, your musical career, that you feel like you never like even envisioned accomplishing, or that you are like, I did that. Yes. Oh, I did that. Oh. Like anything at this point that you kind of look back on and you feel like it speaks to, you know, your resilience or your strength or just your greatness, your dopeness?
Yeah, so in about...
This is Dana, y'all.
Yes, sorry, this is Dana Baker. So early September, I quit my job as a street outreach worker. I worked for Valley Youth House, so my job was to work with homeless youth in the city and to, you know, help them. The job was really intense. It was really emotional, and I was in a gospel concert in June of last year, and it really, like, sparked my love for music again and the need to be an artist. And so I started working with a friend of mine, and I didn't think that I would be able to, on my own, negotiate pay for an entire band. I didn't think that I would be able to go in somewhere and get a residency. I didn't think that I would be able to go in, you know, and do my thing as an artist on my own. And I wrote music, and we've been producing my music. Like, it's been like, and this has been since early September.
So you've been negotiating your pay.
I've been negotiating pay. I've been making sure that the band members, you know, are taken care of. I've been, you know, going out to different places and securing events for us and stuff like that. Yeah. And it's really important, and it's really, you know, empowering, and it feels really good to be able to be like, y'all, I'm at Paris Bistro 3 times a month. Like, that's like a hype thing. So, you know, that's something I'm super hype about. Thank you very much.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, see, this is it. Come on with it. Come on. Anybody else? You know, just anything in your career or life at this point?
This is Tori's story. And honestly, the whole thing. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, God has done so much, and like I personally am I'm so grateful for just the opportunity to know the people that I know, because that's really what it is. It's like I was blessed to just know certain people, like Soraya. I'm not only a poet, and that's what I'm going to be doing on a Sunday. Okay. I'm not only a poet, but I'm a model, I'm a content creator, and I'm an actress. And I have... You better wear them hats on. And like, I'm telling you, and not only that, I work in a high school, so I do a lot of things throughout the day and throughout my weeks. And just the people that, like, my grandma always said, if it wasn't for strangers. And that's really what it is in my life. Like, just the fact that I'm able to network and be able to be around certain people, that's why I am the way I am. That's why I can say, oh, I'm this, this, and this. Because the fact that people have come up to me like, oh, Tori, And I'm like, yo, thank you. And it really has done so much for just my growth and just who I am and like the confidence. Like I was this girl in high school. Like I always say this too. Like the person that I was in high school or even in middle school would say so much about the person I am today. Like, and I love the fact that this is this is a celebration of women because like the little girl that like lives inside of me was like, oh my gosh, I don't think I could ever do this. And like I'm over here just doing things. People are looking up to me. Like I get comments every single day on my Instagram and just talking about, yo, Tori, like, can I? And I'm like, yo, just pray. Like, just do what you like. Do what you have been called to do, because that's really what has happened to me. Like, I just started waking up, and I was like, God, what do you want me to do? Where do you want me to be? And it has done so much to everything in my life. Everything has just grown, and I call myself a sunflower. And other people started calling me a sunflower. And it has done so much to just the growth of that sunflower. That person that has helped not just my little person in my heart, but the other people, like the other little girls around the world that like feel like they don't have like a say-so, or they don't have something going on in their life. Yes, there's no limit to what a woman can do, because we are literally living proof of that. And we're how old? You know, like we have so much, and we have so much life still left ahead of us that like to bring up and just understand that like the things that maybe our mothers or our grandmothers couldn't do, we're doing them now, and we're being able to say, hey, you're welcome, because we're doing what you have always wanted us to do.
And
I'm
carrying
like,
the baton further.
Exactly.
Each generation building on itself and moving everybody forward. Absolutely. So anything that you feel like at this point that you've accomplished, that you look back and you're like, I did that.
Well, first of all, it's super dope to be back on the lounge, because I remember my first time coming here with my mom and Eli, and I was just like, and I'm still like, oh my God, but it's just crazy looking back on it. And they were I want to say the first radio station to even play my music, and so I just really appreciate, you know, you guys so much, and I'm just really thankful. In regards to what you were saying though, like Solange in her new album, she has a song called like I Saw Things I Imagined, and when you really process that, she's literally saying like I saw things that I imagined, like this is normal now.
Talk about it, yo.
And sometimes we don't just take the moment to count our blessings. And there's just so many blessings. You know, the fact that we woke up today. The fact that you, as a woman, Sarita, are hosting this show. That's a big deal.
I was talking about the singers in the room.
But Sarita's so multifaceted. She's so multifaceted. She's a writer. She's an editor. She hosts. She does so many.
I know, baby. What did you do? I mean,
all the time. All the time she does
I can't. No, but go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
go ahead. No, all right. So, if you are, you know, just having already heard from three of, man, let me go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, at least 7 women on the lineup that are going to be performing.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in coming out to this event, it's happening March 31st at 8 p.m. Before we get into like the nitty gritty details of it, and they're rocking with us for the hour, y'all. So you know we're gonna dive a little deeper, but I want to make sure you all have the important information about this event, and you know, can set up your weekend properly so that you can come out and support and close out Women's History Month the right way. Okay. The right way, and that's going to be here. But how did you go about curating the lineup for this event?
Ooh, that's a great question. Thank you for asking. I genuinely thought about really talented ladies who I see grinding, who don't always get the recognition because they're fairly new, and I recognized that, and I was like, okay, I think it's time for them to be on a different platform, on a different stage. So Green Soul, the restaurant that we will be performing in, is a different vibe, and it attracts so many professionals in that restaurant. And I have a residency at Green Soul now, so I've been performing there, thank God, since December. And it's exposed me to so many dope opportunities, like so many amazing people. I've met at Green Soul. So I know for myself, if I could experience the opportunity, I want them to experience it as well. I want this this event to provide more opportunities for them, to be honest. So I immediately thought of them.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love that. No, because I'm so here for that. We the station not too long ago just did this video shoot for a 3-city contest that we're running. It's called #LevelUp, a celebration of women who got next.
Yes.
And yeah, super dope. And I told y'all earlier, the deadline is March 29th. That's this Friday. So make sure you head to WURDradio.com and either nominate yourself or a young black woman, if you are that young black woman, between the ages of 18 and 35, who's just doing dope stuff in the community and, you know, got that #Black Girl Magic going on.
Yes.
But we did this video shoot for it, and, you know, we had to do our own little standalones or whatever. And so on mine, I'm a Jay-Z fan, no doubt about it. I stand. But I mentioned this quote, or excuse me, this lyric that he spits, and that's if every blank and your clique is rich, your clique is rugged, nobody will fall because everyone will be each other's crutches. And, you know, it was just speaking to the fact that for me, leveling up means anytime I experience success, I'm not truly successful unless I bring other people with me.
Amen.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
you know what I mean? Lifting as you climb, as you reach. And so to hear you speak pretty much to that, you know, and knowing that you had this platform, this opportunity to level up and to experience a new form of success, and you are now like, okay, I'm putting on an event in this space, on this platform, and I'm bringing 6, 7, 8 other women with me to experience this. I think is so incredibly dope. And this is just like, this ain't something that she does for sure, y'all. Like, I've been following Soraya for quite a while now, and like, this is just who you are, and this is just like your genuine spirit.
Period. 'Cause,
Period.
Like, I'm telling you, like, this is my best friend. Like, and I'm not even gonna lie. And she's been doing this since the day I met her.
Yeah.
It was really. I'm sorry to cut you off. I just
No,
wanted
you're
to
good.
give a little.
Girls, best friend stuff, though. I had my best friend in here last night.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's really. I'm so grateful to know her, to just be around her. Since like the first day, I'm gonna tell you a little story. From the first day I met her, I called her Purple because she had this purple.
Just so happened her hair is purple right now. It's like this
Right,
magenta
right.
thing she got going on right now. It's
That's her
hot.
favorite color.
That is my favorite color. That's your favorite color.
That's not my favorite.
That's
color.
not, oops.
Oh, see.
Am I her
It's
best
okay.
friend? Or am I?
Best friends grow. Best friends grow.
Used to be.
No,
Look
but
at y'all.
seriously, I met her and I used to call her Purple because I couldn't remember her name. And when I tell you, I will never make that mistake again. And it's not because of I'm telling you, she's Soraya Nicole Dreads in Gold. And that's really, it's a part of her song. Yo, go stream that joint, Melanin. Just we'll plug that joint real quick.
Shameless
But
plug.
I've gotten I've been blessed, honestly, just to have her in my life and to be able to just learn from her and understand who she is and what she has done to the world, because not only has she done so much to me, but I've heard timeless times, I guess.
We take it. We take it.
Just people coming up and be like, yo, you're the reason why I started. You're the reason why I had the courage to get to the mic. You're the reason why I did this, I did that. And just to see that she did this to me, but she has done this to so many people that she probably wouldn't even know. How many people she's really touched, and I'm so grateful to just know her. I honestly am.
Listen, I feel you, honey. I can tell you one thing. We're grateful for our sponsors.
Yes.
So we got to pay these bills real quick. But when we come back from the other side, we're going to keep this conversation going. They be talking about my transitions. I'm trying to tell them. I'm like,
Yes,
I'm only going to get better. No, but I'm joined in the studio with Soraya Nicole, Tori Story, and Dana Baker. They are all going to be in the upcoming event that's happening. It's celebrating women. It's called Queens of the Night, happening at Green Soul, 1410 Mount Vernon Street on March 31st at 8 p.m. And this whole event is curated by Soraya Nicole. But when we come back on the other side, I want to dive a little deeper, not only into each of your journeys in terms of being an artist, but also into what you put into your live performances, and any, you know, advice or perspective that you might offer to other artists who are looking to develop themselves, who are looking to curate events and put other people on, or, you know, have some kind of vision or dream of creating that kind of platform, and, you know, what you might offer. So let's go ahead and take this break. You're in the lounge on WURD Radio 96.1 FM, 900 AM. We'll be back after these messages.
Listen to Word Radio on the go with the Word Radio app. Search for WURD in your favorite app store today and take us with you wherever you go. Stay connected to Word Radio, independent Black media.
Calling all women business owners.
Word has a special offer for you. Grow your business while supporting independent Black Talk media. In celebration of Women's History Month, Word has an exclusive Forward Business membership offer just for you. Join or renew your Forward Business membership now through the end of March, and you will receive an exclusive bonus to market your business on the Word media platforms. Sign up or renew today. Call 215-425-7875.
Listen live at wordradio.com.
Nina Simone, For Women, is a musical play on stage now through March 31st at People's Light in Malvern, featuring hits like Sinnerman and To Be Young, Gifted, and Black. Nina Simone, For Women imagines the legendary songstress at the site of the 16th Street Baptist Church bombing, the event that shifted Simone's career from nightclub singer to civil rights activist. For tickets, call 610-644-3500 or visit peopleslight.org.
It's 6:42 p.m. Time for Steve Plotto and his son Dylan to do the dishes. They talk about everything from the yuckiness of girls to the awesomeness of his soccer team. Sometimes they don't talk at all. Then, hey! The dreaded splash fight. It's Dad o'clock, and it's the best time of the day. Because the smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Word TV. We're streaming live video of this conversation right now. Tune in on YouTube at onWURD or on Facebook at Forward. Word TV. Black Talk Media. The Lounge with Sincerely Sarita. Sincerely Sarita. Right now on Word Radio.
Temptation is a mother, father, sister, brother. Nah, real rap though. I wanna call you up, I wanna snap you back, but I hate the feeling of looking stupid, foolish, cause I know deep down I shouldn't, and I know I regret it after I do it. You ever felt the need to get some type of closure and reopen up a chapter in the series that was over? One side is telling me to leave that chapter closed, and the other is still intrigued in where the story goes. You know, the realest beef be your heart versus your mind, or your patience versus your time. It's kind of funny, we both got caught up in temptation, but mine just didn't involve another person or relations. I'm just saying, I know my mama raised a hard head, I can't help that. My friends be trying to tell me to dispose of you, but they don't understand that you can understand unless you going through. Most times myself don't hear myself out, so what I'm supposed to do? Tempted to call your phone, tempted to text you back, tempted to pull up on you. I wanna know where you at. Tempted to call your phone, tempted to text you back, tempted to pull up on you. I wanna know where you at.
When I'm fed up, you make me digest it faster. Getting all in my head is something that you have mastered. You never trying to hear what I be trying to feed you. I wanna stay away and you say that I wanna see you. You pull up on me saying sorry and then I believe you. And then we good for some time and then you back to acting like a fool. So again I leave you. It's just like deja vu. I didn't think this through. I'm such a fool for you. I'm bound to trip and fall. I need to tie my shoe. You burnt the bridges. That's probably why I can't get over it. I hope the feeling flips, and even though you're bound to jack up, I still wanna hit your jack up. Tempted to call your phone, tempted to text you back, tempted to pull up on you. I wanna know where you at. Tempted to call your phone, tempted to text you back, tempted to pull up on you. I wanna know where you at. Tempted to call your
text you back. Tempted to pull up on you. I wanna know where you at. Tempted to call your phone. Tempted to text you back. Tempted to pull up on you. I wanna know where you at.
That's Tempered Wave by Verbosity. Did I say it right? Okay. Ooh, I'm getting it right, y'all. You're tuned into the Lounge on WURD Radio, 96.1 FM, 900 AM. It's Artist Tuesday. Just FYI, y'all know what that means. Artist Tuesday is usually open mic night. So if you are a singer, if you are a lyricist, a rapper, a poet, and you want your 30 seconds to shine, all you got to do is call in. Our hotline is 215-634-8065. Again, that's 215-634-8065. And then also toll free, 866-361-0900. You know, make sure you call in, let your little light shine or whatever. Yes. You know, we love that around here. We all about the positive vibes and energy and putting on anybody that, you know, is willing, ready, and able to, you know, to be put on. But in the meantime, I'm joined in studio with three lovely ladies who are just doing really dope stuff, not just in, you know, in their professional realm as artists, but in their personal lives as well. So ladies, I'm gonna let you go around again just to give a quick intro, let folks know who they are, who each of you are, so they can, you know, get acclimated to your voice when they hear you.
Dana Baker.
Tori Story.
Hey y'all, my name is Soraya Nicole.
Okay. All right. And so Soraya has put together, she's curated this event. It's called Queens of the Night. It's happening March 31st at 8 p.m. That is this Sunday. It's going down at Green Soul, 1410 Mount Vernon Street right here in North Philly. Definitely celebrate women. You know, that's the last day of Women's History Month, although the glow up and the level up and the grind and all of that good stuff doesn't stop just because Women's History Month stopped. But we were speaking prior to break about this quote that Soraya has on the website. It's from Michelle Obama, and it says, "There is no limit to what we as women can accomplish." And just to hear each of you speak to, you know, these amazing things that you have accomplished that, you know, for some of you, you really didn't even see it coming, or, you know, that little girl inside of you, you becoming that role model for her, right? Wow. And how dope that is. But I wanted to learn a little bit more about how each of you developed your love for music, for singing, for performances. So can you tell us a little bit about your personal journeys?
Yeah, sure. So my parents are both creatives. They actually met through art. So my mom was performing in Canada, and my dad, he went and seen her perform. He didn't know he was running into her, and then that's how everything sparked. And they eventually began acting together, and they had 4 kids. I act as well, and they had me acting and singing and dancing since 7. So I was always surrounded by all of that creative energy, and my mom was also a singer, and my dad was also a poet. So all of that they just threw it at my face, like when they gave birth to me. So here I am now, and you know, my mom's inspirations were India Reid. That's literally my favorite singer, and my dad, you know, everything Motown. So just hearing that growing up molded me to be who I am today.
Gotcha.
So, I have a zigzag kind of story of how I became a creative, because I was a big writer my whole life. Whenever I felt something, I just wrote it down, and that trailed into like me being a writer into a poet, and then I became a model, and that grew into me being an actress, and from me being an actress, it turned into me being a content creator of all kinds. So like I started creating my own content of my modeling shoots and things that I would do with other photographers around Philly. And truly, I wasn't lying before. Soraya was a lot of the birth of me becoming as creative as I was. So me, as I am, not was, I still am. So a few years back, me and Soraya curated a event called Taco Night Open Mic.
Yes!
And
wow.
It was fire. And we made it in what was it, like 15 days?
Yes, we only had 15 days to promote and put it together.
And it was fire. We called each other. We was like, yo, we should do this. It was like, we're going to have music, we're going to have tacos, we're going to have people, and we just had, we have the...
Those are three things I love.
Yo, I'm telling
And it still happens.
You can't go wrong with
Till this day.
It is
Like,
grown
I know I
ridiculous.
haven't been able to make it out to one.
oh, you're good. You got so much time to come.
She
I got
has
so many
taken that
tacos to eat and make
flew.
up for.
And honestly, that was my first time ever performing in front of people. And I took one of my poems that I had written in my notes, and I was like, all right, here you go, guys. I'm going to say it right off my phone. And people were inspired by it. And I was like, whoa. What? Like, my story is doing something to you? Okay, so I guess I'll keep saying it. And I started writing more poetry, and I started writing more poetry. And then I started, like, modeling and putting my poetry underneath my posts on Instagram, and people just started hearing it and understanding it. So it really, I did it for people. Like, honestly, like, that was really my growth of, like, I have my mom used to be a model, like, when she was younger, like, around my age. And that really inspired me to be a model. But being a poet was truly my passion. It was like me being a writer and a poet, it just became something that I didn't adopt, it adopted me. It was just like, Tori, you have something to say. And that's what Tori Story stands for. Like, at first it was just like, oh, well, you know, Tori Story, like, this is cute. And then, like, it just became, wow, Tori. And, like, my slogan actually is creating the story that was destined for me.
Amen.
So,
Yes, yes.
and because, like, I didn't realize that this was something that I was supposed to do until I was doing it. And when I started doing it, I was just like, oh.
You're like, oh, this is it.
Yes. I was like, this is where I'm supposed to be. I started getting in front of people, telling people just like, yo, live your life. And then they just started hearing it, and they were like, yo, I need to live my life. And I was like,
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. So it's really,
Got you.
it was just something that just grew on to me, and I wouldn't change it for the world. I really wouldn't.
And what about you, Dana? Miss Baker.
So honestly, I have like a typical grew up in church. My mother's a minister. My grandfather, I grew
You
up.
a PK?
Me too.
Me too. Me too.
I grew up with my grandfather, and I was literally in church. I tell people all the time, I'm so accustomed to funerals because, like,
That's what you
yeah, I used to sleep on the front pew at funerals all the time. I mean, all the time, you know.
You resting, they resting.
Right.
I'm done. Rest in peace to all those who came.
Yes.
No, but
save me no
honestly,
mind.
it's just like it seemed like the natural course of my life to be a creative. Except I took a huge detour. When I graduated high school, I went to Xavier University of Louisiana, which produces the most black pre-med students, and I went as a biology pre-med major.
And you're from Philly?
Yeah,
Okay.
thinking, you know, I'm a doctor. Like, I love a different world, so I was definitely trying to go to an HBCU,
Okay.
and I wanted to be like Kim Reese, so it made sense in my mind. Except the summer right before I went to Xavier, I met these amazing people, Feluke Bennett and Nate Thompson, and they were running a Peace Leadership and Arts camp out in Chester. And I was like, oh, I just want to do something to stay grounded for the summer. I went out, and it was 2 weeks, all day, and we would spend time creating with the young people, and something inside of me switched. And I realized that science came easy. Being a doctor logically made sense, but it had nothing to do with being, like, fulfilling. And we spent 2 weeks putting together an entire, like, play from top to bottom. We wrote, like, original songs with 16 and 17-year-olds about social justice and about what was going on in the world. And I realized that, like, it's okay to be free in your thoughts and free in your expression and free in who you are. And I went to Xavier as a biology pre-med major and switched my major orientation week to sociology and music double major. Right. It was a super change.
Yeah.
And coming back home, I realized that the way that I've always connected to God has been through music, and that's why it's been such an important part of my life. Like, not everybody is able to connect that way, but it's literally like why it's so important. It's literally why music is the center of my life, because to me, music and God are synonymous, and it's the way that I can express my love for God and then be a reflection of who God is, and to show other people that. And so it's so like, it's so powerful.
Minister to make
it's so powerful
Minister
for me.
Baker.
Don't do that.
Don't
You gonna have my grandfather calling me like, oh yeah, I heard you on the radio. You going to seminary? I'm not playing them games.
Like, Grandpa, wait.
I'm not playing them games.
Gotcha.
But no, it's really important. And so my music, not all of it is. A lot of it is not gospel music. Like, I do write gospel music, but I also write like soul, R&B, some other stuff too. But the performance, I know that you asked a little bit about the performance aspect. Yeah. What I bring into a performance is my heart and my love for God. Mm-hmm. And so regardless of what my music is about, people are able to see the intangibles that we have whenever we perform, mine comes from God. Yeah. And that's what it goes back to for me.
Yeah. Amen. Same.
Thank you.
That's right. Same.
Yeah. Crazy. That's a whole yes.
Because I, as an audience member, I do pay attention to performance, right, and how each artist delivers their craft and delivers their message, the tone that they set, the way that they choose to convey their personality and their emotions. I mean, that's what pulls us into the artist world. So I'm always curious, when chatting with different artists to learn more about, what goes into that performance aspect, into that really intimate moment where you get to be face to face with your audience. It's not us hearing or streaming you. It's not us watching you on YouTube. This is like all raw vibes and energy, right? And so what goes into that? And so honestly, I want for you, what
girl,
is that?
I'm gonna tell you right here and then, because if you peep, God, the creator of all things, keeps coming up. And in my opinion, for something that I do before any performance is I pray. I pray. I need to, I don't care if I'm just meeting the person who in my band, I'd be like, we need to pray before we go on, because I don't know what happened before you got here. There's probably things that happened before I got here. Just, even, and it's not just for me. It's for everybody in the room. It's for the guests who are coming in, the other performers, because, you never know who needs that blessing. So I'll simply say things like, God, please just, bless all the performers here tonight, that, they show positivity, that they inspire people tonight, that in the midst of whatever they're going through, that they can be a vessel and make somebody feel encouraged. Because it was a time and point where I was only, doing it for myself, like, oh, Lord, just use me, use me. And then I realized it's not about me. It's about the positivity. It's about God. At the end of the day, it's about making sure people are inspired to work into the pursuit of what sets their soul on fire. My bag also says that. Shout out to my mom. She bought me this bag for Christmas. But yes.
Tell Mom I accept Christmas gifts as well. But we got to go ahead and take this break. When we come back, Tori Store, I want to hear your perspective, especially as a poet. Yes. And a writer, a fellow writer. We be real here before it comes here. So listen, you are in the lounge on WURD Radio 96.1 FM 900 AM. We are streaming live on Facebook, so head over to onWURD, FORWURD, if you want to see all of the lovely ladies who are in studio. But in the meantime, stay right where you're at. We'll be back after these messages.
Yeah.
Reality check. Reality Check, hosted by Charles Ellison, Monday through Thursday, 4 p.m. till 7 p.m. right here on Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD. Streaming live on wordradio.com.
At Dietz & Watson, we've spent over 75 years focusing on the details. This can be traced back to our founder, Gottlieb Dietz, who learned how to make Franks and sausages the right way in Germany. Today, each one of our delicious offerings is meticulously crafted using perfected details. Because if it isn't good enough for our family, it isn't good enough for yours. To us, the details make all the difference.
Support independent black media and join the 4WORD movement now at 215-425-7875 or visit wordradio.com.
When you went car shopping, you meant business. You ace vehicle history searches and test drives. You out-salesman to the salesman. Now you've got your wheels. If you manage that, you can get your retirement plan on track. Visiting aceyourretirement.org can help. With 401k tips and smart savings strategies, you'll have the info you need to get more for your future. Go to aceyourretirement.org, because when it comes to speeding past financial challenges, you're an ace. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
WORD TV. We're streaming live video of this conversation right now. Tune in on YouTube at onWURD or on Facebook at 4WORD. WORD TV. Black Talk Media. The Lounge with Sincerely Sarita. Sincerely Sarita. Right now on WORD Radio.
Now is the moment to realize what's waiting for you on the other side. Decide with Yah's potency. Decide that can shine bright through adversity. I will not quit. No stops. I will no more. God, no. Gotta keep on with the keeping on, pass through the storm, find your full way, full way. Some don't like to see others win. Never mind, girl, go ahead within. There's water for the soul and flames that's twin. That's we are moving on still. There you going with your same soul, and I hope you see the same routine. Usually I don't get mad, but what's been done is so far man between what it is and what it seems. I mean, they've been making you feel low. No, they got to go, 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 go. Me that I was moving towards destiny, and I believe them, cause if not it'd be treason for my own intuition and my own sick soul. It's time to shine. I get it, I get it, I get it. It's mine to release the light like go. Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. Center on my focus.
That's Marcia Blue with Rule. I'm feeling that. That was a nice little vibe right there. You're tuned into The Lounge on WURD Radio, 96.1 FM, 900 AM. We are streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Periscope. So make sure you catch us there. You know, if you try and catch these visuals, all this melanin, okay, in the studio, all live. I'm just saying you might want to get into it. So Facebook at 4WORD, FORWRD, Twitter at onWURD, ONWURD. You can check us out either one of those places and catch the live. I'm joined in studio with the ladies of the upcoming event, hashtag Queens of the Night. It's happening this Sunday. That is March 31st at 8 p.m. going down at Green Soul. You definitely, I'm just saying based off of what I'm feeling in the studio, I have no doubt that the vibes that night are going to be amazing. But prior to break, we were talking about what goes into each of your live performances. And so we heard from Soraya, we heard from Dana Baker, Tori's story.
Hey! Hey! Hey,
What goes into your live performance, especially, as a poet, as a writer? Like, what do you really focus on when it comes to your performance?
So being a poet, it definitely has this, like, you gotta bring it. Like, if you don't, like it's like you could either go this way or you can go that way. And honestly, like as Soraya said, I pray like 24/7. I'm telling you, like people be like, who you talking to? God. I'm talking to God.
Don't worry. Just have a private conversation with God.
Don't worry. But it has to, like, I want to say the way that I go into my performances is really off of just the energy of the room and like what I know that they need to hear. Like, I have a lot of poems that go off of my own experiences and things that I've gone through in my life, and they're really personal. And like sometimes I have followed up after people that have been doing like hip hop music and people that have been doing like just like any type of music, and then I come in, I'm just like, I'm a poet. So right. I'm not about to like, it's not about to be a party in this joint. Like, I'm about to like bring y'all down a little bit, so just be ready. And it's really about just hitting people in the heart, like, like in a way that like, hey, when you leave, you're gonna think about this. You're like when you see like other people, you're gonna be able to be like, wow, like they might be going through something, and I'm gonna be able to talk to them because I'm a real inspirational speaker with all my poems. Like, every single time I perform, when I speak my poems, right afterwards, I'm like, hey, this is why I said this. I want you guys to know that like there's somebody out there that needs you. And not you as the world may see you, but the you that you know you are, the you that God has made you to be. And you should be used for that, not for any other reason, but for what you are here for, your purpose. Right. Like Soraya's mom, a few years ago, actually said this, and it was at She. And she said, we are here for a purpose. Oh. Right. Because like she knew what it was. It said, we are designed for a purpose by a bigger purpose. Oh, I don't want to mess it up. But it was, you know what it is?
Do we need to call my mom?
Yeah, we should. But it said, because I used to say,
if you call her, ask her about that bag, though.
And it said,
forget about the bag.
We are designed on purpose, for a purpose, by a bigger purpose. And it just truly makes me like understand that every single time you open your mouth, it should have purpose.
Amen.
Every single time you talk to somebody, it should be talking about, like, not just you. It should be talking about, hey, I know you're hurting because we're all hurting. Yeah. So, like, let me talk to that little thing that's hurting inside of you so that you can open up and be like, hey, because everybody got a story. Not everybody wants to talk about their story. Right. But if you ask them about their story, they'll talk about it. Yes, go ahead.
And I just want to give a shout out to my parents one more time, because they named me Soraya Nicole, and their name means, so Soraya means the Lord prevails, and Nicole means victory of the people. So altogether it means the Lord prevails, victory over the people. So prevails means win. So the Lord wins at the end of the day. So at the end of the day, yeah, we're going through so many things right now. As women, as black women, as women of color, but at the end of the day, the Lord wins, and when the Lord wins, we win.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Talk about it.
So that's what I always think of every time I'm about to perform. Like, this is who I am. This is who I'm living to be. Like, you know what I'm saying? God is going to speak through me and speak through the people that I come across paths with, and at the end of the day,
chosen vessels.
We winning. Win.
I think a large part of it is like taking yourself out of it.
Yes.
Taking your ego out of it and saying, okay, I'm going into this space as I am. Like, and it's funny, I think I talked about this before, but when I was first guest hosting or getting ready to, and I'll never forget, Frosty asked me, what do you want your theme song to be? And mind you, I haven't hosted radio, so I'm like, a theme song? What do I want my theme song to be? I'm about to go on air. What should it be? And it's funny, I was in Jamaica when I got the call from the program director here saying, hey, we would love to have you come in for a week to guest host. And I was like, at that time I couldn't chat because, I'm in Jamaica. But when I got back, I'm like, all right, let me hit her back. And at first I was going to say no, but all while I was in Jamaica, As I Am, by her, was like, that was my theme song out there. I don't know what it was. And so by the time he asked me, what do you want your theme song to be? It was like, As I Am. Like, I'm in this space every time that I hit this mic, my prayer is just that the listeners, anybody who's within the sound of my voice, not only takes me as I am, but like me telling myself like, no, this is the best I am.
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean? That self-affirmation. So that actually brings me to my last question, because I know we got to get ready to let you all go. It is Women's History Month, right?
Yeah.
And so in reflecting back on this month, I know it's still in motion, but we're not going to see y'all before the show, so I got to ask you now. And reflecting back on this month, what would you say, like, one thing is that this month has either shown you about yourself or reaffirmed about what you know to be true about yourself or your gift or your talent?
Oh, that's hefty. Yes.
That is.
I was gonna say, that's
Yeah, I do that sometimes.
I'm gonna go on to it because like I really love that question, and honestly, this month alone, it showed me. So I started reading the Bible about women and like how like just how God has created us, and we are that one thing that completed the world. Like God created man, created animals, He created the light and the skies, all the stuff, and then once women were here, at last. That's what it was said. At last. And it just, I realized that I'm important just by being me.
Amen.
Like it had nothing to do with anything else. Nobody can add to me more than I can add to me. More than God has already created me to be. And I said this earlier actually on I do Tory Tuesdays, and it's my inspirational thing on Instagram.
Yes.
And follow me on Instagram, like Tory Story. And like one thing is just like I can't be bought. I can't be bought by finances. I can't be bought by like anything else other than loyalty. By like showing up. Like you show up and just like, and you can't even buy me with that. Just I'm here for a reason. So it's either you gonna be here with it or you're not. And
Gotcha.
like, and I don't have to prove myself to anybody. And that was a really strong thing that happened this month. And
Gotcha.
like, and it's gonna happen. Like, I know I'm gonna keep growing with it. I'm gonna keep learning it. But just the fact that God has given me this confirmation that Tori, you don't need nothing except for me. And like, you only need what I have given you. I've given you everything. So just use what I give you. And then the things that you want, the things that like may want you, they're gonna gravitate towards you. And if you can have that discernment of like, hey,
This is for me, this is not.
for
Right.
me. And that's
Gotcha.
that's really what I think. I would say in one word, clarity. And
Gotcha.
clarity on my strength.
Gotcha. All right. Ladies, real quick.
I think for me, the, I guess, definition of femininity, right? So I feel like today, like, you know, women are doing whatever they need to be who they are. And like, you really spoke to like being cool with who you are. And I think that for a long time I struggled with like being the epitome of what a woman is. And like if you look at old movies, like Marilyn Monroe was soft and dainty on screen, and off screen she was like this bad chick, you know what I'm saying? So I think that for me it was kind of it's been kind of embracing working with the musicians that I work with, mostly men, all men except for other vocalists right now. And so I've had to kind of get used to like saying stuff that's on my mind and kind of directing stuff sometimes, and it gets like
bossing up.
Yeah, you know, it can be nerve-wracking, especially when I struggled for so long to kind of mold myself and create this idea of what femininity looks like, you know what I mean? So I think it was a struggle within to kind of be like, girl, you can be extremely feminine and your femininity is owned by however you choose to own it and however you choose to be. And it's not in being passive, and it's not in being submissive, and it's not always in, you know, letting people, you know, say what they, you know, what they want. You know, sometimes it's like, okay,
you gotta say technical.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So that's been really important for me, I think, this month.
All right, and then Soraya, last but not least.
Can you repeat the question one more time?
So Women's History Month and reflecting back on it, what did this month show, teach you about yourself, or affirm from within?
This month taught me transparency.
Oh, right. Speak on.
Yes.
How to be just real. I really truly believe if I just keep it G with myself, and keeping it G with myself means keeping it G on Instagram. Keeping it G in public, just keeping it G so that way other people can see, all right, she kept it G, so I can keep it G, and that person can keep it G, so we all can keep it G. We can be transparent and still be inspirational and still be, just be. You know what I'm saying? Like how you were saying, like, I am who I am, and that's powerful. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
You better let them know. All right. So what we do have to let them know is we got to go. We got to let you all go. But let everyone know about this event, where they can find. It is ticketed, so where the website that they can go to get their tickets, all of that good stuff.
All right, guys. So what I need you to do is go to queensofthenight.splashthat.com to RSVP for your tickets. If you do not RSVP, you can go straight to the door and pay $10. And I just want to give a shout out to all the ladies who are performing. We have Dana Baker, we have Tori Story, we have Sienna, Radiance, Verbosity, and I will be hosting as well. So, and Sienna will be performing as well. So it's going to be an amazing night. So it's going to be at Green Soul, 1410 Mount Vernon Street. So don't you forget it, guys. Thank you so much for having all of us today.
Thank you. That's so going down March 31st, 8 p.m. You can follow that event via the hashtag Queens of the Night. That's QUEENS of the Night. NIGHT, if you want to keep up with the things that are going on with this event. We got to go ahead and get the break. When we come back on the other side, my final guest of the evening is joining me, and you know, we about to get, he's a Jersey guy, so we're going to get into, you know, his thoughts on the Jersey music scene, his music, what he has going on. Dre Lloyd is who I'm going to be chatting with, so stay tuned. You're in the lounge on WURD Radio, 96.1 FM, 900 AM. We'll be back after these messages.
Young and Woke. Fridays on Wake Up with Word. Hosted by the rapping professor